Sir, we can start, sir. They'll join in between. Please share us your journey of plant science preparation, sir.
Yeah, sure. Hello, is my voice audible?
Sir, bit low.
Hello,
Sir, your voice is low.
blur.
Yes, sir, it is somewhat blur.
Now is it okay? Now is it okay? Hello.
Yes, sir, but it's somewhat low, sir.
Okay. Now.
Yes, sir, it is okay.
Okay. So good afternoon, everyone. Uh, I'm Aravind Balaji, and I'm doing presenting my M.Sc in plant breeding and genetics in TNAU campus. I started my preparation. Uh, First, I didn't decide it as plant science. I thought I would go for entomology, as I thought, because I had a lot of interest in collecting insects. Because in first year we had to collect insect also, so I got it. But gradually I thought, remembering insect names is really very difficult. It is very big. It's not like name also. It's like name address of a house. Very big. So I thought, okay, we will not go for that subject. And at the same time, I thought entomology will be only one perspective. I wanted such a subject to carry broad perspective of agriculture, a broad perspective. So I took plant breeding, and I already had some interest in genetics. So I opted for plant breeding. So so I asked my seniors what to study and how to study. So they recommended me a lot of things. So genetics by Syntax and genetics by B.Sc, etc. So I started reading this book. So I started reading genetics by BBC, and when I started reading it, one thing I noticed that I started to lose interest. I don't know why, but gradually when I read, I understood that everything in the book was from a perspective. Good afternoon, sir. Satish sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Arvind. Welcome back.
Thank you,
After
sir.
quite some time, almost about 4 years, I haven't seen you.
Yes, sir.
So welcome here. But your voice is very low, Arvind. That's the only. I have been in this session for almost 5 years, 5 minutes, but
Okay.
little bit of lower on on the lower side. Can you check your
Okay.
microphone if possible?
Yes, sir. I will check once. Seniors told me a lot of books, B.D. Singh and Fundan Singh. I started reading it, but I found it really difficult. So I didn't know why. So I began to study the materials. So what I feel is that first you need to go through the materials first, whatever the material that are being provided to us in the college. So why I feel is that because one, they are prepared by keeping in mind about the syllabus of PG, because in books they are out of syllabus. Many students studied. PG students, professors, scientists, a lot of people refer those books. And second thing is that the authors or the professors who are preparing those materials, they refer a lot of books, 2 or 3 books or 4 books, etc. So that will be really very useful for you if you go for the materials first, and you'll get a brief introduction of what you are doing, or else you will study too much and you will slowly lose interest in the subject. So I started to read the material. Once I started reading the material, I read the material, I was underlining the points. So I kept it aside. I felt that, okay, I am reading very well. I have completed a lot of points. The second time I read, and I was highlighting the points also. The second time I read, I saw that all the points are highlighted. I didn't know what to read. Then I thought, okay, we should not go highlight everything in the first attempt. First, you need to read the material properly. Once you read the material, you will know what are the important points. The second time you read, you better highlight the points, or else you will highlight everything. Because my whole book was marked with points with the highlighter. I didn't know what are the important points. And when you write down also, no, you will end up copying the whole book on your notes. What will be there in the textbook, the whole thing will be repeated in the notes if you copy it in the if you highlight it in the first attempt. So I suggest that you read the material first. Once you read the material, and after that you can go for highlighting it properly. And then in second year I started with BDC, with the materials. I started with the materials, and in second or third year, 3.1 and 3.2, I started to read Fundan Singh. Fundan Singh is a relatively easy book. It's very good because BD has a vast subject. So Fundan Singh book I started to read. I began to highlight the points after reading it once, and I felt that while highlighting, you can write down important points either in the book, but I prefer to write it on a corner of a page. For example, in one side of the page, it is given as transcription, translation, any sort of content is given. You can write down your important points on the corner of a page, so that whenever you refer that book, along with those important points, you can also read the rest of the thing. At the start I felt somewhat insecure because I felt that if I write down in the notes, am I not missing some points that are in the textbook? So I felt that it is relatively better to write it on a corner of the page. So I began to study it, and from objectives point of view, I practiced. I made a schedule. So schedule we have 5 subjects. Okay, genetics and plant breeding, uh, genetics, plant breeding, 2 subjects, pathology, microbiology, and seed science and technology. And in addition to, you have general agriculture. So general agriculture, you read Nemraj Sunda and Arun Kartian. Though when I appeared for the exam, there was no one bit from Nemraj Sunda, but still, it's better you read Nemraj Sunda for general agriculture. And Arun Kartian, Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1 consists of especially social sciences, agronomy, and soil science. So social sciences are not very important to us. You can go for agronomy and soil science. And when it comes to Volume 2, you have pathology, entomology, plant breeding in general, environmental sciences, etc. So you can go for that. And for objective, you can go for SR Kantva. You have a lot of papers, previous year papers, and also Elongo one book for that. So what I made a schedule is, I actually get bored if I read one subject every day. Means I prefer that we have what I felt is that one variation we have is that one difference we have, that we have a lot of variation in the subjects. So in horticulture, most of them will go for blasters horticulture and instant horticulture. Entomology, they will go for 1 or 2 books, entomology, nematology. But we have 5 different subjects. So I thought we will go for 2 subjects which are totally different, and that will be really interesting. So I took genetics and pathology. They are totally different. And plant breeding and microbiology, they are different. Seed science and technology and general agriculture. So every 3 days you can complete the whole book, but uh, take only 1 or 2 chapters per subject. So if you in one day itself, if you overdose yourself, if you read a lot of chapters, it will be very difficult for you to concentrate the next day because you will get bored. 1 or 2 days you will read, and after that you will lose the stamina to read. So go 1 chapter per subject, 2 chapters per subject. At the end of the day, if you have time, go for general agriculture because it has to be revised daily, little bit every day, or you can go for every 2 days, you can go through general agriculture as in the schedule, as per your convenience. So that's what I felt. And especially when it comes to tables and plant pathology, some pathogens will be there. So from that point of view, I didn't know how to remember it. So most of my friends said, make a poster or make a chart and paste it on the wall. But I didn't really feel it was really easy for better for me, because every day I was looking, I didn't even spend 5 or 10 minutes. Some people said keep it inside the dressing table where you are getting ready, but I didn't feel that. But still, I suggested some of the people. So many of them were there, boys and girls, one of them. So when I was writing my competitive exam, they were getting more marks. So I asked them, what are the strategies that you are trying? They said that, as you said, I pasted the same chart on the wall and I began to read, and all the girls were getting more marks, and I didn't know what was the secret. Then I got to understand that girls spend a lot of time in front of dressing table, all the things, sticker matching, all bindi, lipstick, everything. So I thought, okay, it's not going to work for us. And if there is a pimple on the face, that means it will take 15 to 20 minutes extra. So that means they are spending a lot of time there. So I thought, okay, it's not going to work out, let's keep it on the phone screen. So I took a photo of it and kept it on the phone screen. And on the screensaver, I kept 1 or 2 days I saw. And on the third day, I myself forgot, because I got really bored of the same phone screen. We take the phone 100 times a day, and even we don't even care about the screensaver. So I kept it as a wallpaper. When I kept it as a wallpaper, all the icons were on the wallpaper, so everything was hid. So I got fed up. So what I did was, I took a piece of paper and I kept it beside where I am studying. And every night we go to sleep. So before going to sleep, I use it to revise all the things that are memory based. You keep it on one side, such as diseases, pests, and what are the tables that are being there, varieties that are resistant, etc. Specific pests and diseases. Those will be very difficult to memorize, so you can use that. And uh, while you are studying, keep do walk here and there, so that you don't get sleep while you are studying. Especially after lunch, you feel sleepy, so you walk here and there so that you don't feel like sleeping. And one more thing, most important thing I felt was that that ICAR syllabus, Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, and Unit 4, for in a single sheet of paper, I didn't even understand it. So I feel that it is not much useful. Instead, you can go for the materials and the books that are. I will share to someone of you the list of books and what to study. And do take care of your mood during the course of the day. That's because if something bad happens during the course of the day, you will not even have interest to study. So what I say, that before the exam, 1 month or so, stop talking to your friends. Not means other kinds of gossips. You can discuss anything related to subject, but other kinds of gossip, because uh, everyone will talking about all types of nonsense, and it will be about you also. Except you, everyone will be knowing, and at last when you will know, you will feel bad. So take care that you don't get involved in such types of things. If you are emotionally strong, it's okay, but if you are emotionally weak, and you will lose your precious time during that course of that day. And 1 day or 2 days you will be moved out, and third day if you want to start again, you will lose your streak. So this competitive exam, it's not like a 100-meter race, it's a marathon. So you need to run slowly but at a constant rate, without a gap. Whereas our semester exams, 1 day batting we do, 1 day before, 1 day night, one night batting. So we study before the day and we will go for exam. So it's not like that. You need to be constant. Take care of your physical and mental health. For that, you need to keep control on your tongue. So to maintain your physical health, maintain control your tongue, to stop eating outside junk food, all those kinds of things. And stop maintain your mental health by not poking your nose in someone else's business. So cut off from your friends for about 1.5 months, because it will disturb your mind. That's the most important thing. Your mindset during the part of the day is important. No matter how much you study for the first 4 months or 5 months, if you spoil your mood in the last 1 month, that is the most precious time, most precious phase of revision, then your whole exam will get affected. So make sure that you have a good mood during that time and have a peaceful environment. And then how to practice objectives is objectives genetics by B.D. Singh and B.K. Prasad, plant breeding and genetics. For pathology, you can go for Uttal Kumar Bhattacharya. I will send you the book list. So for objectives, initially you don't pick answers. Uh, what I say is, first you guess the answers, and at last you go for ticking. Maybe 2 months or 1 or 2 months before you start to tick the answers. And when you go for revision, you just revise all the answers once and take care that the answers are not wrong, because sometimes the answers are given wrong in one book, and in some other book it is given correct. You don't really know which is correct and which is wrong. So make sure that those things are correct. And there are very agri icar JRF, that portal is available. You can go for mock test. They are giving paid mock test. I don't know, I think about, when I was rating is at about 600. You can go for that. Many mock tests are available nowadays. Telegram and many paid WhatsApp groups are available, so you can go for that. But make sure there also some mistakes are given in the answer. So make sure you verify before going to exams. Um, yeah, while studying for the exam, when the exam date is approaching, when the date is announced, and probably 1 or 2 months before the day, means probably 2 weeks before the exam, you will hear heartbeat from literally every part of the body. That means you are really getting tensed. Your heart is pumping a lot of blood at a higher rate. So you don't get tensed, because one thing what I say is that there will be a lot of rumors in the WhatsApp groups is that last time paper was easy, this time paper would be difficult, it will be moderate, it will be extreme, all sides of rumors. So no one actually knows how the question paper is going to be. So what you do is, you don't think about the question paper. See, the person who is going to set the question paper, he himself doesn't know that his question paper is going to come. The person who is allotting the question paper number set, he doesn't know that what's there in the question paper. So ultimately, you will be the one who will be knowing both the set and the question paper on the exam day. Okay, so it's absolutely foolish of judging how the question paper will be. So you don't know how the question paper will be, you don't know how many questions you will attempt, you will never know how many marks you will get, you will not know what rank you will get, you will not know what college you will be allotted. Everything is in the future tense. But naturally we get tensed, even I got tense, but I use it to convince myself that nothing is in our hands, only what is the thing, that effort is in our hands. And whatever happens, it happens for good. That's the thing we can do, and move forward. So that's the faith you need to have confidence in what you are doing. So don't clog with all sorts of tension and all sorts of what people think, because this race is just like a boat race. If you think of a boat race, and you see the finish line, just you see the finish line, but you are not able to move forward because your motor is filled with junk, trash, and that trash is fear and tension that is not allowing you to concentrate at that particular instant of time. So make sure that you clog that clutter out. It's natural, but sometimes you just think that okay, whatever happens we will take care of it later. If you want to feel fear, if you are scared, when I will get the rank, when I will not get allotted, when I will not be not allotted college, then I will feel bad. I will not feel bad now. It's not. It's literally after 2 months. Whatever is going to happen, it's 2 months later. So don't think about it. Think about it now and utilize the time that you have now. So and work for it. When you go to the examination hall, uh, When I went to examination hall, I will tell you my incident. When I went to the examination hall, you will be required to sit in your chair for about 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes will actually determine your mood in the examination hall, how you are going to write. So generally, what people do, those 30 minutes, they will naturally, when we are there, we think that okay, did I cover this portion? Did I cover that portion? But it creates unnecessary tension in our mind, and it's also useless of thinking those things, because if you forget something, you can't get up and go and refer that. So you can't do that. So instead, distract your mind. So for the first 5 minutes, I also didn't know what to do. I was seeing in the computer screen, and naturally, I was getting thoughts in my mind. 5 minutes, 10 minutes were going on, and suddenly I thought, okay, what should I do? So I looked up, and I began to count the number of tube lights in the room. Two tube lights per case, one, two, three, four, five. Number of tiles, seeing people around, and when I saw people around, they were tensed. So I also were getting tensed. So I removed my specs, and I was saving everyone. And I just think that okay, till how much far I can see the people properly. So I was just distracting myself so that I will forget for some moment that I am in the examination hall. When actually exam started, everything was blank. I was going through the question paper. The question paper was moderate. Okay, fine. So generally, when I was written 2019, I gave a trial attempt in third year. So during that time, everything was memory based. The question paper was easy, and many questions came from previous year. So everyone expected that this will be easy. So I was just thinking that okay,
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
happened now or it happened long ago?
No, sir. Just now.
No, sir, just now.
Okay, okay. No, I wanted to know till where I spoke. Okay, yeah. So where was I? Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to distract myself completely. So when I started the exam, so in 2019 the question paper was easy, but in 2020 it was purely conceptual. Everything was based on problems, statements, all those, and I felt it really surprising because it was I was very lucky enough to have such a paper, because it is very difficult for me to remember facts, but it was completely conceptual. So I felt the question paper is fine. So there were 120 questions, and in 1 hour I completed the question paper. That doesn't mean that I knew everything, but one round I completed about 95 to 90, around 95 to 97 questions, and there were 10 questions that were confusing. So I just thought, should I attempt those 10 questions or not? But I felt, okay, let's have a lot of faith and confidence in ourselves. See, we have, so I want everyone to think such that you have worked hard for at least 1 year. You need to have the confidence and faith that yes, I have worked hard for 1 year, and uh, if I have 10 questions that are confusing, then I will try my level best to give them correct. So out of 10 questions, don't you think that at least 5 questions will be correct? See, you have a positive approach here. For one correct answer, you get 4 marks, but for incorrect answer, you get -1. So that means you are getting 4 marks, 4 times more marks when you are correct. So I thought, okay, we'll go by this way. So if there are 10 questions, and out of 10 questions, so I have worked really hard. So out of 10 questions, at least 5 questions will be correct. Because if you don't attempt those 10 questions, you will lose 40 marks. If you attempt those 10 questions, if at least 5 go correct, so you will get around 20 marks. 20 minus 5, 15 marks. See, if you would have left those 10 questions, you would have lost 40 marks. But you have attempted those 10 questions. you get 15 marks. That 15 marks are bonus. Okay, 4 questions are correct, 6 are wrong. Then you make the calculation. 4 into 4, 16. 16 minus 6 incorrect answers, you get 10 marks extra. Okay, 3 are correct, 7 are incorrect. 3 into 4 equals 12. 12 minus 7 incorrect questions, you get 5 marks. Okay, 2 questions are correct. 2 into 4, 8. 8 are incorrect. 8 minus 8 equals 0. That means literally for up to 2 you have chance. So if you have studied so hard, out of 10 questions, wouldn't you think that you can at least attempt 2 questions correctly? Of course, you should have that confidence, you should have that belief, because if you don't take that kind of risk, especially who are in open category, who don't have any reservation, I suggest them to go beyond 100 out of 120, because you don't get ranks uh, if you don't go beyond that many questions. So make sure that you attempt above 100. For others, everyone I suggest you go above 100. For open category, you have no choice. Other at least have reservation, ST and ST. You have no choice. So you better go ahead with above 100. Okay. So you take that risk. Have that belief in yourself. Okay. Um, and yeah, that's it. That's what I conclude with this. Any questions you can ask?
Yes, sir. Actually, we have some questions.
Yes, yes.
Sir, the most common question when we asked them to fill the Google forms was why should we choose JRF plant sciences as a career option? This was
JRF.
the plant sciences as career option. Why should we go to plant sciences?
What I feel plant sciences is, see, see, land is reducing day by day. So you can't expand land. You need to improve the crop, and crop improvement comes under plant breeding and genetics. Okay, and plant breeding, it covers a wide area. So if you are a plant breeder, you know to know about the crop, agronomy or horticulture. You know to know about plant pathology. You need to know about entomology. You need to know about soil science. A plant breeding covers every aspect. If you not to know the crop from seed to seed, plant breeding is the best option, because an entomologist may have only the knowledge about only insects. A plant pathology may have only about fungi, bacteria, etc. But a plant breeder, since he has to improve the crop, he has to have wide knowledge about all these areas. How the crop should be, what is the fertilizer dose, how many days it comes to transplanting, how many days it comes to harvest, how much it dodging resistant, threshing, all these kinds of together. It's an integrated subject. All the subjects together come to plant breeding as perspective. And one more thing is that you have a lot of options in private sector, in seed industries especially. Plant breeders have a lot of demand, because you need to develop a lot of varieties, and it takes a lot of time to develop a lot of varieties. You have a lot of vacancies for plant breeders. For entomologists, I feel the options are less. Plant pathologists, the options are less. For plant breeders, it is more, because private companies concentrate more on releasing varieties. Okay, they need lot of plant breeders who have innovative ideas, who have ideas to reduce the budget, at the same time improve the production, improve the quality much more effectively. So that's what I feel. Plant sciences you can choose as a career, but provided you have an interest. Just because someone else has said that the plant size is great, you need to go for it, it's not the correct route. And when you are studying for plant size, no, you have only one target. Either you go for AFO or you go for bank. Have only one target. Either you study plant science as PG, or you go for AFO, or you go for bank, or you go for UPSC. Many students, they clog their mind. They will say, I will do plant science PG also. I will try AFO also. I will try UPSC also. If you have such many distracted routes, you can't concentrate on a single thing. You just see that which is best for you, and genuinely see that you have interest in it. Just because someone else have told you have a lot of job opportunities, you have a lot of scope in that, doesn't mean that you also need to go in that. And even if you go, if you don't have any interest, even there are 100 jobs ahead, and if the person doesn't feel you as worth in the subject, there's no use there. So interest actually matters in, in such things.
Okay, sir.
Still anything?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Is PhD is necessary after MSc?
Yeah, nowadays PhD is very much important after MSc. If you are doing MSc, PhD is very much important.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, there are any not any options after MSc itself. There are any opportunities even after MSc, or we need to do PhD definitely.
Actually, if nowadays, MSc is also sufficient. If that is very in the past, nowadays even PhD students are not also not getting job. So if you do MSc and without PhD, the people who are do PhD will be given much more preference than you. So you need to do PhD. You have opportunities. You can go. The minimum eligibility may be MSc also, but PhD will be given much more preference there. So you need to go for doctorate. But there will be some people who will be, they will do PG only as a degree, and they want to go for deviate to any other subject. You can go for. But if you want to get a job in agriculture sector, you need to do PhD also, because even PhD students find it really very difficult to get job.
Okay, sir. Sir, what are the opportunities in government sector, sir?
Opportunities in government sector. Okay. You can write ARS exam after right now. Earlier MSc was the eligibility. Now they have changed to PhD. All maybe up to 2023 they have extended that MSc is also an eligibility for ARS, that agriculture research scientist recruitment. So we have the TRS examination. They have prelims and mains and then interview, and you get selected in all India level. From that perspective, you can enter into government job. Private sector, you need to see for the opportunities that you're getting in various websites, papers. Then only various companies such as Bayer, Syngenta, etc. In those companies, uh, you need to try. Government, you can only go through, I think, ARS only as scientist.
Sir, what is the right time to start our preparations in? When, from when?
From when? Okay, from when I feel from 3-1 it would be sufficient. 2-2 or 3-1 it would be sufficient. Uh, you start it gradually. Don't start at an instant that I will study this many hours. You don't have a fixed time. Second year or third year is an ideal time to study. You start with the materials first. You get thorough with the materials. Slowly you pick up and go to books. So in that manner you can go. 3-1, 3-2. For those people now, anyone is in final year now. I think second year, third years only. Final year, anyone is there. For final year, I think you need to pick up very soon, because in the month of August or September you will get the exam. For those who are in third year, it is okay, but fourth year you have to really brush up and study hard.
Yes, sir. Sir, what is the most toughest part in this preparation, sir? Like in plant science, what is the most toughest part to deal with?
Most means from subject perspective or how you're asking?
Yes, sir, from subject perspective.
Okay. Subject is, I felt most difficult is plant pathology. Especially we are horticulture students, no, we don't have any knowledge about field crops, rice, wheat. We don't have any knowledge about that. So we need to study agriculture as well. So we need to study about rice, wheat, maize, all those kinds of things, and some terminologies are there: tillers, flag leaf, booting, all those things that we don't understand. So those things are difficult. And at the same time, pathology is a memory based subject. So you need to know the disease name, pathogen, what are the symptoms it is causing, what are the specific precautions and correction measures that have to be applied at what stage. So pathology is difficult. And in plant breeding also, stress resistance breeding, in essentials of plant breeding, tables will be given. The characters that are governed by polygenic traits or oligogenic traits, and what are the resistant varieties, transgenic crops, table format will be given. So those are memory based, and it will take a lot of effort to memorize them. So for that, I recommend to go for keeping, means reading them regularly. Improve the frequency of reading rather than means reading it with depth. Means repeat the the table every day rather than reading this table whole day. You repeat it every day. You read the table once or twice. You just improve the frequency rather than going to the depth.
Sir,
Yes.
instead of JRF, do we have any other exams to join in plant science?
Local entrance exams are there. So TNAU conducts local entrance. KAU has UAT. There are some agricultural colleges that uh, mm, carry on local entrance exams. But nowadays they are also being selected by ICR only. 25% your grade point and 75% will be from ICAR marks. And if you want to go for biotechnology, you can go for GAT B exam. So that's the path for biotechnology. For plant science, you can go for local entrance. And in local entrance also, especially the college I'm studying, TNAU, you can select one subject. Means for JRF, we need to select all the subjects. No, plant breeding and genetics, seed science and technology, all the subjects you need to study. But for TNAU entrance exam, you can study plant breeding and genetics separate paper. Only plant breeding and genetics. Some amount will be general agriculture. Seed science technology separate exam. Pathology separate exam. Microbiology separate exam. So there will be separate examinations instead of the whole JRF exam. You have separate exams there. So local entrances you can write.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So, sir, can you tell about the college's rank list for this thing, and how's your experience in TNAU?
Okay. Rank means I didn't understand. Sorry, I didn't get you.
Sir, the best colleges that thing.
Ah, yeah, best colleges. Okay. Actually, since COVID, no one is able to tell in the recent years which is the best college, because I joined TNA because I wanted to learn much more practically, because I have a lot of interest in learning both field work and lab work. So I wanted to go for TNA, but what happened is due to COVID, everything became online. So all the things, all the lectures, they became online, and we couldn't learn much practically. Overall, TNA is good. Whoever wants to do PhD can opt for TNA, because TNA is very strict. You will have no time to prepare for other subjects such as AFO or bank or CAT or UPSC, etc. So if you want to come to TNAU, you will get a very good knowledge. You will learn a lot about agriculture, provided if you want have interest in the subject and you want to do PhD. And best colleges means GB Pant is good, IARI is good, Navsari College is nice, US Dharwad and US GKVK are good, KAU is good, and still, yeah, Punjab Agriculture University it's also good, but it's a bit costly. Um, they charge about 1 lakh per year, uh, because they say that they even coach for going to abroad also. So the cost is there; it is higher. Anand Agriculture University is good, and yeah, that Haryana Agriculture University, that is CAU, Chaudhary Charan Singh, that is also good. And still more is OUAT and PGTSU. They say that it's not really up to mark for plant breeding. Other subjects it's okay. Um, Still any subject. CAU is good. They say that plant breeding at CAU is good also. But actually, the biggest problem even I faced is that I got sub campus. I thought that I will get main campus, but I got sub campus. Um, Faculty is good, but everything is nice. But what I say is that in some sub campuses will not have that much adequate facilities. We think that we'll get the main campus, but sometimes we don't get the main campus. Sub campus are mostly in rural areas, very much far away from the highways or the roads. It will be near the forest. My college is also in the same way. It is much away from the city. It's in Killikulam is approximately 20 kilometers from Tirunelveli. It is the city. So if you want to go to any work, especially a big one, you need to travel 20 kilometers. If you want to eat somewhere out, you want to see a movie, you need to go about 20 kilometers from here, and it's totally a forest area. Whereas other campuses, Coimbatore campus or Madurai campus, they are very much in the city itself, so you can go out. There are no much restrictions. Um, that's what sub campuses. The facility there, faculty will be interchanging. Facility there will may or may not be adequate. And last time when I wrote the exam, I got rank 54. There are 43 fellowships for plant breeding. I only saw for plant breeding. 43 fellowships are there. Out of that, 34 are for open category. Rest are for reservation. So 34 are for the open category. And when I was in the counseling, around 131 seats were there for open category for plant breeding. And since I was interested only in plant breeding, I kept only 9 or 10 options. So first option I kept it as IARA, and second I kept TNAU. So I got allotted TNAU in the very much first counseling. So the first rank in plant sciences when I was writing was 393. That was the first rank. And from there, 377 was the sixth rank. So up to six people, there are no one is between. I got 355 marks. By the time from 377 to 355, 377 had sixth rank. By the time it came to 355, it became 54. One of my friend also got 328 marks. So by the time it came from 355 to 328, the rank became 178. So that means for the first six people, 6 or 7 people, they are really far away. From there will be a lot of people per mark. So you see that even per 1 mark is also important there. I feel that sometimes they also see the age criteria also. Who is elder, they will be given much more preference than the younger one. So if we are taking a long term, it's an extra year. So they give preference to those people than you. That's the thing.
Okay, sir.
Uh,
Sir, what are the reading strategies and timetable you have followed, and how did you manage the ELP and the RAVE program in the fourth year, sir?
Okay.
This is also some many people ask this question.
Okay, actually, I am not the correct person to ask this because ELP we somehow managed, but RAVOP we skipped because of the COVID pandemic. We got skipped. But what I say is that, as I said, you need to follow one schedule is the two subjects per day. But if you are starting in the fourth year and you are really determined that okay, I need to study well, you need to study all the five subjects, at least one chapter each, because it's better to if you read the same subject throughout the day, you will get bored, you will feel exhausted, you will not be satisfied, you will feel that you have completed only some portion. But when you study one chapter per subject, you cover five chapters in five subjects, you will feel that okay, I have studied something, I have covered in a broad perspective. And managing the ELP, I say I had ELP. So one thing I want to say is that you split the responsibility. Don't if you are being the in charge of ELP, anyone would have taken the in charge. You split the responsibility among everyone. H1 and H2 batches are there. Everyone take equal responsibilities. Don't put all the responsibilities in someone else's head. He will have a lot of burden, especially if he is having plant science. So you distribute among everyone and cooperate well among everyone in the ELP program. And when it comes to RAVOP, we were about 4 or 5 days together. So during that time, we were not allotted any farmers. We didn't go to field. Well, my A batch mates, they said that they managed somehow by going to the field once in a week or twice in a week, and the rest of the time they were in the room itself. So you can use that opportunity, but you will have a lot of record work also. So that record work, anyhow, you will write at the last 10 or 15 days. They said that it will take about 10 or 15 days to write the record along with the photographs also. So most of the time you will spend in room only when you are in RAV. But the problem is that when you have a lot of time in your hand, you will not know the value. You will only waste it. You will not even know where the time is going. So make sure that you use it properly. Do make a schedule, make the schedule as much strict as possible. We can't follow it, but still we can try to follow it. Means if you cover, put that okay, I will study five chapters in five subjects, and you put a schedule. At least that day you will study at least three chapters from three subjects. So in that way, if you keep that I will study only one chapter from one subject, you will feel that okay, I can cover it during any part of the day and you will not read. So keep the schedule as much strict as possible. Make it as much strict. See that you don't even waste a minute. You prepare in that way. You can't follow it strictly in a disciplined manner because it is very difficult to follow it. But in trying to follow it, you will follow at least a part of it rather than giving it a loose. And what I suggest is when you are aiming for JRF, you aim for top 10 ranks. For an institute, some aim for IARI, okay, from top institutes. Some feel that okay, if I get JRF, it's enough for me. Some say that if I get seat, that's enough for me. Those people who think that who, if I get seat, that's enough, they will not get the seat. Okay, those people who say that if I get JRF, that's enough, they will only get the seat, but they will get non-JRF. And those who aimed for the top 10 ranks, they will get the JRF seat. And if they are much more determined and they work much more hard, they may end up in the top ranks also. So you keep your goal as much high as possible. Don't think about the end result, whether you will get or not, that is not in your hands. Because counseling, how many people are around you, you will never know. There will be a lot of people. See, last time what happened, the ranks were high and there were a lot of third year students who actually topped, means they got more marks than the final years. And many of them asked, sir, I have a lot of rank. And then I felt, and there were some juniors who told me I got this rank and that rank. See, they have studied, they had already started the preparation. Sometimes what happens is they outperform us also. When I was in final year also, no, when I was giving mock test, there were some people who outperformed me in third year, who were in third year. So you don't need to feel bad about that. The most important worst thing that can happen is that losing your confidence right in the examination hall. Don't do it. See, if the question paper is tough, say to yourself you're strong, you can do it. Don't give up and say, okay, I'm not going to get anything, and you leave it. That's the worst thing that can happen. When you are giving mock test also, no? When I was giving mock test, there were a lot of people who got more than me. They got lot many marks than me. I 480 marks was the question paper. They got above 400. Many got above 400. I used to get about 380 or 390. But there will be some people who will be comparing in the group, and you will feel bad, man. There are many people in front of me. See, who is before you, who is going to score marks. This exam is not going to matter. What will ultimately matter is the final exam. You have time for it. And don't feel that I am making mistakes now. I am making silly mistakes. I am very negligent. I am carelessly making mistakes. Don't get fear. Don't have fear of that. Feel grateful that you haven't committed that mistake in the main exam. See, now you have a chance. Now you will be precautious that yes, I will not uh, make the same mistake again in the exam. If such type of question comes, I'll be much more careful. Think about this situation. You didn't make any mistake in the mock test, and you make a silly mistake in the main exam, then the results may be devastating. So you don't need to know lose confidence and faith in yourself. The most important thing is how effectively you plan, how effectively you read. Your confidence and your faith only matters there. If you study hard and go there and in fear, you don't attempt any questions. There were some of my friends who studied really hard and they attempted only 90 questions because they didn't have confidence that if I go for the next 10 questions, they were having confusion in options A and B, and they didn't go for it because they thought that what if it goes wrong. They didn't think that they have studied so hard that out of 10 questions at least 5 questions will go correct. They didn't have that positive approach. So that's the approach you need to have if you want to get a better rank and perform well. So your confidence determines everything. We waste a lot of time thinking about whether I will get the rank or not, whether we will get good marks or not, whether we will get good college or not, etc. Because which is totally in future. We are wasting our time now. You are thinking about that for 5 minutes. You have lost your 5 minutes of study time. One day before exam, put all your books away. I said don't read anything. And I say this because for a competitive examination, you don't even know what to study. I think everyone had given M.Sc. One day before exam, you don't even know what to study. Unnecessarily, you will clog your brain. One day before exam, you just feel relaxed. Have your and one more thing, uh, you will have a lot of if you have a WhatsApp groups, discussion groups. One day before exam, you just leave those groups. After exam, there will be some people who will be discussing questions. And if your question goes wrong, if your answer goes wrong, you will lose your peace of mind. So make sure that you leave those groups after the exam. And whenever you get time, try to study hard. Try to study hard.
Sir?
Hello,
Ah, yes, sir. Now audible.
audible. Okay. You can take plant breeding and microbiology, and at last is seed technology and agriculture, general agriculture. And objective questions you practice regularly. Okay, most of the things, objective type questions, when you mark, after you mark it, you read it as a answer, as a fill in the blanks. There will be statement 1 and statement 2, especially in BDC book. Statement 1, statement 2. Statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is correct. You make a note of all those statements. Those are correct statements. It will help you to remember maximum facts in the book. So two statements are correct, then you go for true or false statements, assertion and reasoning type of statements. You can mark them, and you can also, what thing I did is, when I practiced the objective book, I forgot a lot of things. So what I did is, whatever the questions I tend to forget, I began to write it down in the book as a fill in the blank. I didn't write the options. I wrote about cell is a dash is a unit of life, fundamental unit of life, cell. There will be many options, but I wrote it as a fill in the blank. So you can write it down and revise. So, but make your schedule strict. At least you can follow some part of it. Hello?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, anybody has any questions?
I don't have questions, but this is Satish. I don't have many questions, but I have a few suggestions if I would like to add upon Arvind's
Yes, sir.
conversation.
Sure. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
You
sir.
guys are able to
Yes,
hear me?
sir. Sure. Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. No problem.
Yeah,
Sure. Please, sir.
I'm actually driving, so there is a small lag in the signal as well, I guess. So the two things somebody was asking me over the conversations as to how much time do you need to require for preparation for the examination. Let me be very, very blunt. It doesn't really need much time if you are really dedicated and if you are really disciplined, as what Aravind was explaining. And I'll take myself as an example. I was never thinking to get into an entomology for a JRF program, but I did. What we did, I'm telling you this example because this is the one that actually makes you more agile, more, what do you call, more creative and more innovative. Thing is, what we
Oh. Hello?
have done is I had to go to use this opportunity because we were there for about 35 days in Delhi. I went to IRI campus and then had an opportunity to meet with the best people. I would try to tell you the best people because I was accompanied by one particular student of mine who was a senior to me from Naira campus. I am from Hyderabad, the Rajendranagar campus now. So he was from Naira campus. I have never met him in my life. So we went there, and then he was with three PhD students. So I said, we are all for a certain reason. So they are preparing for an SRF examination. We are preparing for a JRF examination. So what we said was, we will prepare a couple of topics every day, and then we used to rethink about that topic, rediscuss about that topic in the evening. So they used to go there, they used to come back with their own topics and everything. We have divided the subjects, and then we started reading through that material, as it could be any number of subjects for that matter. So at the end of the day, because they are SRFs, they said simple thing. Okay, we know a little bit of things, but what we want you from you is, when we come back, you explain us everything that you have read. And we used to have a small board on which we used to do, if we were outside, we used to use a pen and a paper, and then we used to sit around, and then we were doing it as if we were doing for a competition, actually, like whoever wins, because they, at the end of the session, we used to ask questions. So when we asked the questions, the answers, they used to get credit points. Based upon the credit points, we were actually sharing our things. Like, no, somebody used to make the room, somebody used to clean the dishes, somebody used to do things, because when you win, your duty is being catered to somebody. So we were doing it as a challenge. And the end of the 1 month or 34 days of my stay in Delhi, all the five, they got SRFs, we both got JRFs. And both of us from JRF are all national rankers. SRFs are the national rankers. So I'm telling you, simple, straightforward funda is make a team, make a power team. Somebody is preparing for plant sciences or plant genetics or anything for that matter, make yourself into a team. Don't ever see somebody as a competitor. Please form a team and then start discussing it, because when you start discussing, when you start to try to get as much as information as possible outside your brain towards somebody, you are actually learning twice than what you are thinking. So when you think, only you can speak about a topic only if you will have so many give a logic. This is one thing I wanted to. So, and second thing was the discipline that Aravind was speaking about. You pick up a certain number of topics and then ensure, I'm telling you, ensure that you read through the material. You should be in a position, or you should be in a commanding position to actually teach somebody. That's all you have to aim for. If you can do that, if you can understand the logic behind it and the sequence of events that come one after the other, and why things come one after the other, you are golden. That's all is needed. So for subjects, again, every topic is the same thing. Somebody was asking, sir, which is the hardest one to actually go through breeding or plant genetics or plant things? As he pointed out, heterogeneity things or population genetics is one of the toughest things that I have faced in my PhD program as a molecular environmental plant scientist. Plant genetics, within the plant genetics, population genetics is the most toughest one that I have faced. So if you are really good at chromosomal arrangements, and if you are able to look at the loci and then calculate the gene counts and everything, I'm telling you, you'll rock the subject. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir,
Thank you,
for
sir.
adding up
Thank.
points.
Welcome. Neat lecture predictions and all your thoughts. But I would like to add one more thing. It is not which college that you are going to. I want to specify this one also, because and trying to decide. But your future, I'm telling you, your future depends upon who your mentor is. Simple, plain and simple. Who your guide is, who your mentor is, and how good they are able to mentor you. So whichever the university, doesn't matter. If your guide is there to help you out to understand the things on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis, you will have a very, very good career. Even though you had some scientists who are national ranked scientists, but they are unable to give you time, then it doesn't really matter to you, because anyways at the end of the day you will learn. But thing is, if there is a specific direction as to why you have to learn in this particular format and what needs to be done before something else, that makes a lot of difference in your career. So look at the individuals when you're going to universities, look at their credentials. Who are the faculty in there? Look at their credentials, look at their grants that they have got from somewhere else. See if you can be able to meet people or talk to people, especially because in the Facebook or LinkedIn profiles and everything, you will find the connections straight away. So try to talk to the students, try to talk to the people that they are associated with, try to know more, and then if you can get a good mentor, I'm telling you, you will be golden in life. Okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, for this.
Any more questions?
Arvind, are you in Coimbatore campus?
No, sir, I am in Killikulam campus, sir. Actually, I have been allotted in rice research, sir.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, in institute.
Because I usually come to Coimbatore campus on my way to Cherambadi and other places once in 2 to 3 months. So if you are in that particular campus, I would have a chance to meet you there. So
Yeah, sir. I am in Killikulam campus.
Killikulam, acha. Okay. So
Yeah,
how far is it from Coimbatore?
around 400 kilometers, sir.
400 kilometers towards which region is this? I have no idea about this campus.
Tirunelveli, sir. From Kanyakumari, it is 80 kilometers only. Almost
Acha,
south.
you are more south. Okay, okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, you are in Hyderabad?
Yes, I am in Hyderabad.
Okay, okay. Sir, actually, I am also in Hyderabad only. Actually, I have been allotted my research work in DRR.
Directorate of Rice Research. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, very good. If there is a possibility to meet, then I'll definitely be very much interested to meet up.
Yeah,
And
sir.
then thanks for guiding our students, especially on the topics that are really needed for the students, especially at this hour, because most of them are trying to prepare for civils or any of the JRF exams or banking sector and other things. So thanks for your support as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. After a lot of many days, I am talking to you.
Yeah, it's almost like 3 years, I guess. Yes.
Yes, sir. In first year, you taught us soil science. After that, I don't. Yeah, second year last, sir. That's it.
Yes.
2017, 18. That's it.
True, true, true.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we have Prashant sir with us. Sir, Prashant sir.
Hi Arvind, good
Hi, sir.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Thanks for joining, Arvind.
Yes, sir.
Arvind, we'll create a WhatsApp group for plant science students. You just guide them.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, if anybody has any question, you can ask. Otherwise, we can end up.
Yeah, this meeting will also be uploaded on YouTube, so you can refer to your friends.
Okay, there are no more questions, I think. Sir, thank you, sirs. Thank you so much for sparing your time and interacting with us.
Yes, okay.
Arvind sir, many of our questions in our mind have been clarified about plant science. Once again, thank you so much, sir. And I also thank Satish sir for supporting us for this wonderful meeting. And thank you, Prashant sir, for guiding us. Thank you so much, sir. We can end up.
Yeah.
Varun, you can end.
If you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Varun, you can end the meeting.